Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues. With this video, I'll be discussing my thoughts on episode 3 of the anime series Hibike Euphonium, or Sound Euphonium. And I really enjoyed this episode. The most reason for which has to do with just the realism of the problematic nature of an in-school sort of band organization. The problems that we're seeing, the main trio of girls as well as the rest of their class and the different grades and everything in dealing with, performing and learning the playing of the instruments and learning music and everything are very reminiscent of problems I went through when I was in middle school and I entered band class, thinking I was going to play the trombone, and later, after realizing I probably didn't have the lung capacity for it, I switched over to snare drum because that was something my dad had actually played when he was in school, and I thought, it would be sort of easier learned. Little did I know that another problem is how heavy the particular instrument is, and you have to carry that around, much as the girls are learning in this episode. Everything about this episode is just unchecked realism as far as the problems you deal with, the problems you face in a band organization framework, from kids not taking it seriously to just wanting to sort of breeze by and have fun, and coming across that realization that this is actually work. You have to work and perfect a craft and everything like that, learn how to play your instrument, learn how to read the music and everything like that. It's very interesting to see that most of the sort of second year students, the most really excited and enthusiastic about being part of this, have all dropped out because, basically the people that aren't taking it seriously are ruining it for everyone else. And you have the sensei who comes in and he's like, look, I don't want you to even waste my time as a conductor. I don't, if you're not going to practice, you're not going to take it seriously, don't bother my time. Don't come bothering me and ask me to come in and listen to you until you've perfected your performance to a point that you could possibly, there's this Sunshine Festival or whatever it is that they kind of sort of want to enter. And he's like, don't even bother. Don't even consider it until you actually sound somewhat good. And everyone's kind of electing for this idea of, well, we don't really need to practice. We can all play. We can just do what we want. But they don't sound very good, in fact, and it's kind of disheartening for characters like Kumiko, Midori, and Hoozuki, who want to strive, want to accomplish something, and you have, characters like Asuka who's trying to be a grand sort of leader and get everyone into shape and excited about it. I mean, they're going and picking out their instruments, and you do see some reservations on Kumiko's face once again. Do I want to get stuck with the euphonium? There's so many other instruments I could try to play, but it's really her calling to play that one, and I like how they sort of, she resigns herself to that fact. She actually, looks at the instrument, and she's pretty much happy about it in the end. And of course, the problem of bringing the instrument home, and she has to deal with her sister being like, don't play that thing in the house. How is she meant to practice if she can't practice at home? That's a large chunk of the issue going on for all of these kids. Where are they going to practice? They're not getting it together in school. They can't bring their instruments home, or if they can, they're not allowed to play them, and I'm just guessing in the majority. I mean, this is a problem that I experienced, whether it be, bringing home a snare drum and, my parents being like, oh my God, it's so loud and annoying. So it's realistic problems in that framework, and it's a buzzkill for all of these characters. We run into Shuichi again, this, sort of lifelong chum, air quotes, of Kumiko's next door neighbor, what have you, that I have speculated might have an interest in her or whatever. That remains to be seen. But he's the one through which we find out about all the second years, why they're not involved, and why everyone else is kind of bumming about the whole scenario. And they kind of all take a vote about, going ahead and performing for the sensei, but they suck. And he points out why they suck, how they suck, and he, his sort of opinion isn't the popular one, even though it is the truth. And all of these people then decide, the majority of them anyway, except for our sort of main trio and Asuka and a couple of the, different sectional presidents or leaders, whatever you want to call it, most of the class decides, well, you know what, we're not even going to practice then until somebody does something about this pompous ass sensei's opinion. And it's like they all have the wrong sort of outlook. And it's like the saving grace in this episode is Kasaka, who... she's not to be undone by this. She's not to be defeated. While you have Kumiko Midori and Hoozuki sitting on the steps and, you know, sort of trying to quantify exactly what has happened and what's going to bring people back together and all of those problems, you have Kasaka playing her instrument with vigor. She plays an entire melody, and, you know, it's kind of a melody that signifies the longing for the embrace of success, or homecoming in this case. And I like the analogy of homecoming as far as bringing the band together. Blues Brothers reference for those who aren't aware. And it was just a very significant moment. And she follows that up with this just gut-wrenching scream of frustration, letting free her emotions, after which she smiles. She's satisfied that she got it out of her system, and she knows she's good. She knows she has talent. And I think, you know, it's going to be sort of a Sisyphean effort where we're going to see these girls having to climb uphill. But I really feel like at this point, we're pointing toward not a sense of defeat in, you know, that ball comes right back down the hill and Sisyphus has to push it up again. I really feel like these girls are going to get that giant rock up the hill, and this is the journey the entire show is on, and we're going to see them succeed in some fashion. I don't know if they're going to go to nationals. I don't know if they're going to go to another showcase and, you know, win an award or what have you, but if they can perfect, if they can, you know, unite their class, their fellow bandmates, and actually produce a good sound and produce a good playthrough, I think there's so much success that they can accomplish on that level. And I think that's sort of the point of the story. You know, again, seeing all of these characters feeling really buzz-killed out and bummed out, it's overcoming that sense of adversity that's sort of self-imposed from their fellow classmates in a fashion, you know, because they don't agree with the sensei's really hardcore wanting to see them hunker down. I mean, they want to all shoot for nationals, but they don't want to do the work necessary, is what it comes down to. And for the girls who want to accomplish, for the girls who want to be excited, you know, and don't want to be downtrodden in the first year, our main characters, our main trio, Kumiko, Midori, and Hoozuki, seeing that all the second years have dropped out because people aren't taking it seriously enough, I feel like that trio, as well as Kasaka, you know, we kind of see them in the end credits, I've pointed this out before, as being sort of the main foursome. I feel like they are going to be the center point through which everyone else comes together. And I think Asuka is going to be sort of orchestrating that as well. But it's a very exciting idea for the course of the story of this series, and I couldn't be more excited for it, to see where we go next. So otherwise, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you thought of episode 3 of Hibike Euphonium, if you're following along with it, if you're enjoying it. It's definitely a favorite of mine in this particular season, one that I actually get really excited to watch, you know, and I end up anticipating it the whole week before the next episode. So yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this episode if you've seen it, and that'll be pretty much it for me on this. So I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.